Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are located. Welcome to the talk on gender-based violence, where we speak about gender-based violence, especially the violence against women and children in our society, in our families. If you are a woman or a man going through violence right now, this talk is for you. This is to inspire you to speak up and seek help, so you can come out of this. And if you are a woman or someone who has gone through violence and you are trying to rebuild your life, to hear this show is for you. This is to tell you you can do this. If myself and all my guests have been able to do it, you can do it too. You can get through this. You can rebuild your life. You got this. You got this. And Martin Luther King Jr. says that in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. So this show, this talk is for us as a society, so we can start speaking up and standing against more and more violence in our society, in our communities. Because if we do not do it now, our children and grandchildren will hold us accountable for it. So this talk is for us to brainstorm ideas and strategies to reduce and even eliminate violence in our society, in our families, in our communities. So thank you for joining us. And today I have my friend, my amazing friend, Pratibha Dey. Yeah, Pratibha Dey. And I will let her introduce herself. But the one thing I can say about her for the time I've known her is she is usually the energy girl in the room. The energy girl in the room, yes. So Pratibha, thank you so much for gracing our channel with your presence today. And just go ahead and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Sure thing. My name is Pratibha Dey. I am from New Jersey, and I am a motivational speaker. I am a teacher, and I'm also the founder of Try Together LLC, which is a video podcast for mental illnesses and individuals with physical impairments. I am also an author. I have an upcoming book called Resiliency, A Woman's Journey from Scarcity to Success. And I'm a teacher. My background is in education as well. And I'm an entrepreneur overall. So thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And you have so many hats. Congratulations.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
So you said, Pratibha, let's dive right into it. So you told me you want to speak about physical violence, physical abuse, abuse, and what it is. What is physical abuse? And how was it for you?
So physical abuse for me is, any bodily harm, any harm done to a person's body without consent. It's, whether it's visible injury or not. Physical abuse is something that can be as corporal punishment. So corporal punishments are when you use, different punishments, such as holding someone, telling someone, to hold their hands up and stand in a certain position for a certain amount of time. It's hitting a child with a stick, such as they do in Asia and different countries. Thailand still does, even though it's illegal. So corporal punishments for children are definitely something I experienced myself in India when I was in kindergarten. My teacher had slapped me. So physical abuse is any harm to someone's physical being, which affects their mental health. So that will sum it up for me. What's the second question?
Yeah, so that was what you experienced, right? Back in India, in school and at home as well. Was this something that was present in the house?
Yes, so I was physically abused by a family member when I was 16 on multiple occasions, different family members. And to them, it's a discipline because originally from India, to them, that's discipline. However, that is abuse, and it's very ignorant of people who don't know the difference between the two. Any harm, whether it's a slap, a punch, anything you do to someone, it's corroding them. You are really dissipating the person and their self-esteem, their emotional wellness, their, possibly verbally even talking down to them as you're conducting the physical abuse. And it really depreciates a person. So it's very necessary for you to keep your hands to yourself. And I find physical abuse to be for weak people who are weak and miserable inside, who don't have any other skills education-wise to possibly explain, make someone understand or discipline them through, verbal energy instead of using force and using their hands. So that's my belief on it.
Pratibha, this is interesting because I am from Africa. And when it comes to educating children, when it comes to disciplining children, the first thing our parents use is stick, like they beat you. So are we saying, is there two things? Is it a way to beat a child, to discipline the child, and then another way that it's got abuse, or is all in one?
No child should be hit on. It doesn't matter if it's stick, a hanger, whatnot. It's very ignorant of someone to do so. A lot of parents aren't educated on how to be parents or take care of their children. I highly recommend taking courses on child development to know how it damages the child's mind when you do that. It can be Africa, it can be India, it can be wherever. What matters is you're responsible for your actions. And I'm taking a course right now on Harvard X from Harvard about child abuse and children's rights. And just because you're older, you're stronger than a child doesn't give you permission to abuse a child in any way. And it's just not, it's your child. They came through you, but they're not here for you, okay? They're their own being. Just because they're not able to speak up for themselves, it doesn't give you permission to hit them at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't at all. I am also taking a course on Harvard S on child development, how really affects them. I am thinking it's interesting how it affects them, especially during their first ages, already like less than 3 years old already. The way you are treating the children is really affecting them, and even their environment, what they see and what they experience really affect them.
Yes.
And I like the point you make about as parents being able to tell ourselves, parenting is a skill I have to learn, and I have to invest in it and learn how to do it. And for us who have gone through those physical abuse, it's very important for us to invest and learn how to do better than our parents.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. So how did you feel that the impact of what you experienced, the impact, how was it?
Wow. The impact was very heavy for me, for my mental health. I suffered from clinical depression for possibly 12 years. I'm 27. I'm going to be 28 next week. I suffered from clinical depression. I had no body confidence. I didn't have self-confidence, very low self-esteem. I, didn't always have this energy and this smile and this bubbly personality. I used to hide under my clothes. A lot of people who've been abused hide under hoodies and sweatpants. And these are signs. And I was very paranoid, which led me to have body dysmorphia, about my stretch marks and about me being a bigger child. I was, fat, or that I was told I was fat since I was 6 by relatives who don't know any better as well, and about self-image. So I really had this deteriorating self-image about myself, and it impacted my mental health severely to where I got, mental illnesses. I had a disease. I had like multiple diseases because what others implemented onto me, which is why it's very important to keep your children safe, as a parent, guardian, whatever, what you may be to the child, to have self-control, to nurture yourself, take care of yourself before you take care of a child. And if you are an angry person, all these things, you need to find alternatives like meditation, or I'm sorry to say this, but the child needs to be in a better environment than the one that you put them in.
Yeah, that's a deep one. Make
Yeah.
sure as a parent to take care of yourself first
Hmm.
before being able to take care of the child. That's a deep one. So this made me to ask you, Pratibha, how were you able, what were the tools you used to come out of this?
Wow. Well, it took me many years. I came out of body dysmorphia about 3 years ago when I built a greater self-confidence through CrossFit. So I became an athlete and I had a really great athletic body. That's how
Wow.
I got out of that. When it comes to clinical depression, I came out of it this year through emotional impact. I aborted 2 children of mine. I was expecting twins in my second trimester. That led me to have a paradigm shift in my life to make better decisions for my life. And how the tool that I used was traveling. You were asking. So in 2014, travel really helped me know that, I don't want to commit suicide because of what other people did to me. Life is beautiful. So I read books, when I could, because my mental health fluctuated to where I wasn't able to hold a job many of the times. I would have jobs for only a short amount of time. And, relationships suffered, everything suffered because I was suffering inside.
Yeah.
And the tool I use is positive affirmations and listening to my coach, Mr. Les Brown, who's my coach now. And I listened to him 8 years ago through a friend. And I really just had to do the inner work, do my best that I can to pull myself out of that. No one's going to do it for you. And I didn't have any therapy. I didn't have any other resources. I did it myself because I had that desire and that longing to be trauma free for so long.
Wow. Awesome. Congratulations on that, because not a lot of people are able to do it, to come out of this. Some people just
Yeah.
don't know. They just don't know what to use,
Mhm.
how to help themselves. So we are asking them to seek help, seek for help.
Definitely. Now that I've learned there's free resources, I mean, I remember telling my abuser after they abused me that when I was 16 that I needed therapy, and they laughed. And my family just laughed at the time. They didn't take it seriously when all of these people in my family who need mental assistance, they're just so ignorant about it and educated. And it's just really, it's sad that they're not open-minded to that. And the culture that's here is different than back home in India. But
Yes.
I definitely recommend NAMI. NAMI is possibly in every state. It's the National Alliance for Mental Illnesses. It's free. There's free support groups. There's Catholic charities. There's always a suicide prevention hotline. It's 1-800-273-8255, I believe. And, you have to ask professionals for help sometimes if you've really crossed over into where you need psychiatric help. You just have to ask for help. And once you get there, are able to do that, then you'll truly be successful in overcoming it.
Yeah. Asking for help is very important. Asking for help is key, because most of the time, some parents don't even know better, because this has been the culture for so long, so many years, and even
Yes.
decades, and this is
Yeah.
what they know. This is what they know. And I remember my own father. One day I had to ask him, I asked my mother, "Mommy, can you hear Daddy speak the way he's talking to us? Is it good the way he's talking to us? Even if you are wrong, like there are ways to say it. There are ways your parents will approach you and tell you this is wrong, but when you say things to psychologically and emotionally abuse the child, that affects the child a lot." And I remember one day I asked my mother, "Is it good? Even the way Daddy is talking to you yourself, being his wife, is it good?" She said, "I heard him, is not good." And I said, "Why are you keeping quiet? Why then are you keeping quiet?"
Yes.
No. And one day I went, I gathered all my strength. I was crying and shaking, but I did go to his room and I spoke with him. I spoke with him. Yes, I did. I spoke with
Good.
him. I was crying, but I was speaking. So this is how I feel. about the way you are treating us, you know. And from that talk I had with him, and he spoke about how they have been brought up, how he himself, he did not live with his parents and he had to live with other people, and the way he was treated. So even the way he was treating us, for him was even a very huge improvement.
Wow.
From what he himself experienced. So he was already trying his best not to do the same, but
Mhm.
still it wasn't enough. So yes, it wasn't enough. So that's why so most people, most parents just don't know. They just don't know. And do you have anything to tell those parents right now? Anybody who is a parent and has gone through that culture, have lived through that culture, what do you have to tell them right now?
I would separate myself from the people who think like that.
Yeah.
And I would study. I would really read books on self-development. There's a great one called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay.
Mm-hmm.
There's other books on forgiveness. There's Power of Awareness that I'm learning about. It's a book. There's just any book in the self-development section. It's just really necessary for you to work on yourself, write things down, journal, write how you feel, share how you feel with someone so you don't have to take that anger out on other people.
Yeah.
Hear yourself, like be mindful. How you speak, the words you say become reality. So you really have to be mindful about how you approach someone, how you state something. Is that the best way you can say it? If not, think about how you can do better the next time. Always apologize. If you know you did something wrong, you feel guilty, there's no shame. You shouldn't be too prideful in, apologizing.
Yeah.
Because you're holding on to that grudge. When you hold on to that grudge, you're suffering and you're killing yourself. We're all already dying, right? We die, a minute has passed, we're closer to our death. Like that's just the reality of life. So there is no point aside from you wasting your life by holding on to grudges and being mean to people, because one day you're going to leave this earth and you're not going to be remembered because you were just an a-hole or not, basically.
Yeah.
Be frank. You have to be kind to people and people will be kind to you. And not everyone experiences that, but you just have to keep going and have faith no matter what.
Yes, Pratibha, you said something that is very important, which is not in our culture, apologizing to a child, for instance.
Yes, talking to one another,
Talking to one another, and apologize as a parent if you do wrong. Going to the child and telling the child, "I am wrong, forgive me," is very hard for some culture, in some cultures.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
It is very hard,
Yeah.
but it goes a long way, because it's not just appeasing the child right today, but it's showing the child how to behave towards others when he or she grows up. So it goes a long way. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter how old you are. Age is energy, as I learned by Mr. John Tellerico, my coach, and he's my mindset coach. And age is energy. It doesn't matter if you're older or younger. A lot of older people learn from younger people, we are the future. So I definitely agree with that. And yeah, it's wonderfully said.
Indeed. Thank you so much. This has been so awesome, Pratibha. This has been. Do you have any last word to say? Any question you want to address, which I didn't ask?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
No, I don't have anything else to ask you. But do you have anything to share?
Yeah, I just want to leave everyone, which I always say and I enjoy, by Malcolm X, saying, that don't be in a hurry to condemn he who doesn't do as you do, think as you do, or as fast, because there was a time where you didn't know what you know today. So as I always say, that it's okay that you didn't know that, but you know it now. Now, what can you do to improve yourself? You are consciously deciding what you're doing with your life and your behaviors. Okay, it's all about your attitude. If you have a negative attitude about your life and you're a miserable person and you want to stay there, that is your choice. You can always improve yourself. And if you want to know more about me, you can reach me at Chai Together, CHAI, the word together, on YouTube. I have a video podcast there, and I am Try Together LLC on Instagram and Pratibha Dey on Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pratibha. Thank you so much, everyone listening to us, everyone watching us. This was our dear friend Pratibha Dey and your host, Tengma. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye-bye.